Assalamu alaikum students. This is week 10th of ninth class, and today our topic is about importance of fermentation, and then we will move to the next topic, that is mechanism of respiration. So first we are going to discuss about the importance of fermentation. Here are some points of regarding the importance of fermentation. Number one is this: during evolution of life on earth, when free oxygen was not available, bacteria respired anaerobically. Even today, when free oxygen is available, some organisms, including some bacteria and some fungi, they get energy from anaerobic respiration and are called anaerobes. Humans can also provide energy to their skeletal muscle cells through anaerobic respiration. It happens when skeletal muscles have to work hard, especially during exercise, but oxygen supply cannot be increased to fulfill the demand. The fermenting powers of bacteria are also used for making cheese, yogurt, etc. Fermentation in yeast is used in brewing and baking industries, like making of bread, buns, cakes, and alcohol. The fungi Aspergillus ferment to produce soy sauce. Now coming towards the mechanism of respiration. Mechanism of respiration is the process which actually is a continuous process. Like aerobic respiration is a continuous process, but for the complete understanding we have divided it into three main stages, like glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and electron transport chain. So first we are going to explain about the glycolysis. Glycolysis takes place in the cytoplasm of a cell, so it occurs in the cytoplasm and oxygen is not involved in this stage. It occurs in both types of respiration, aerobic respiration as well as in anaerobic respiration. In glycolysis, the 6-carbon compound, like the glucose molecule, that is broken down into two molecules of the pyruvic acid, which pyruvic acid is 3-carbon compound. Next is the Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle is named because a British biochemist Sir Hans Krebs discovered the series of reactions. That is why it is called as the Krebs cycle. The pyruvic acid molecules are completely oxidized along with the formation of ATP, NADH and FADH molecules, which are the high energy molecules. You can see the diagram as well of Krebs cycle. Before entering in the Krebs cycle, the pyruvic acid is changed into 2-carbon compound called acetyl coenzyme A. Now coming to the next, that what is FAD? Flavin adenine dinucleotide is also a coenzyme like NAD. It gets 2 hydrogen and reduces to the FADH2. So it is one of the coenzyme. We also have discussed the coenzymes in our chapter number 6. So you will be having a better understanding of what are the coenzymes. Now coming to the electron transport chain. It is the final step of cellular respiration. It is the transfer of the electron on the electron transport chain. In this step, the NADH and FADH2, which are the high energy molecules, release electrons and hydrogen ions. These electrons are taken up by a series of electron carriers. When electrons move through the series of electron carriers, they lose energy, and which is used to synthesize ATPs. At the end of the chain, electrons and hydrogen ions combine with the molecular oxygen and form water. Now, the electron transport chain actually is used here for the conversion of the high energy molecules into the ATPs, because inside the cell we need the energy currency, we need the ATPs, adenosine triphosphate. So these energy molecules, they have to be needed. So here the conversion of NADH molecules and FADH2 molecules takes place. Now coming to the calculation of the energy budget, how many ATPs are produced during the whole process of aerobic respiration. The NADH and FADH are high energy molecules which are broken down to produce 3 ATPs and 2 ATPs respectively. Like one NADH molecule is broken down into 3 ATP, they will produce 3 ATPs, while the one FADH molecule will be broken down to produce 2 ATPs. The glycolysis, which takes place in the cytoplasm of a cell, here 2 ATPs are generated plus the 2 NADH molecules. So it means that if we convert the 2 NADH molecules into ATPs, it means that 6 ATPs will be produced here. When pyruvic acid converted into the acetyl coenzyme A, here 2 NADH molecules are generated again. So these 2 NADH molecules again, if we convert into the ATPs, they will produce 6 ATPs. So if we calculate all of the ATPs, the net calculation is around about 14 ATPs. Now, out of this 14 ATPs, 2 ATPs are consumed, or you can say used. How? During the transfer of pyruvic acid to the mitochondria, 2 ATPs molecules are used. So as a net profit, we get 12 ATPs in the glycolysis. Now coming to the Krebs cycle, which takes place in the mitochondria of a cell. First is generation of 2 ATPs. 2 ATP molecules are generated. The second process is this, that 6 NADH molecules, which are the high energy molecules, they are produced. So we convert that NADH molecules into the ATPs. So as a result, we get 18 ATPs here. And if we are talking about the FADH molecules, so only 2 FADH molecules are produced here. So we convert those FADH molecules into ATPs. So 4 ATPs are produced as a result. So as a net profit, we get 24. If we calculate all of these ATPs, then we'll get 24 ATPs, like 2 plus 18, 20, 20 plus 4, 24. So 24 ATPs are produced as a net profit. As a result, we get sum of, if we calculate the glycolysis ATPs and the Krebs cycle ATPs, so as a result, we get like 12 ATPs of glycolysis and 24 ATPs of the Krebs cycle. Out of this, we get 36 ATPs as a net profit. So one glucose molecule will be converted into will be produced actually 36 ATPs in the aerobic respiration. We can see the diagram as well, which is showing you the theoretical ATP yields here. So you can have a look of this diagram. You can also draw this diagram, which is the easiest diagram. Now coming to the assignment question answers. First question is, write a brief note on the importance of fermentation. Second question is, explain the mechanism of respiration. And third is, calculate the energy budget of aerobic respiration.